What's going on, guys? Spottabot here for Destiny. We've got the weekly level 30 Nightfall strike for you again this week. This time it is the Will of Crota. Yes, with Solar Burn. All right, you want to get those solar weapons out. A Vision of Confluence. You want the Icebreaker. The Icebreaker is key because you also have Juggler. All right, so I've got the Vision of Confluence. I've got the Vex Mythal class. I don't even end up switching to the Vex Mythal class. The Vision of Confluence is fine. The Icebreaker is absolutely fantastic. Or, you know, if you have any other solar damage, Sniper. Fusion Rifle I didn't even switch to. Sniper, you're way better off with. And then a Rocket Launcher, okay? So I've got the Hunger of Crota. If you got Galahorn, Galahorn's probably going to be better for you. But either or if you have another solar rocket launcher, definitely recommend the rocket launcher as opposed to the machine gun. And just remember, you got to be careful. Don't shoot into walls that are directly in front of you or enemies that are directly in front of you, okay? All right, so here we are in the first area. So the things that you have to worry about. Now, I'm going to stay here, obviously. This is my position in this room. I back off as needed down the stairs if required, okay? The enemies that will chase you into this room include the Thralls. The Thralls won't come up right away. First of all, you're going to face the Fallen. You got to watch out for the Captains. The Captains do have solar weapons. So make sure you're aware of them and, you know, you're just backing off when you need to, okay? The Shanks will come in. The Shanks will come in and attack you. Yes, they have solar shields, but they are arc damage weapons, so you really don't have to worry too much about them. Although, again, remember, it's a level 30 raid, so you are going to take damage. These Vandals, the Vandals are the other ones that'll come in on you. They'll chase you. So basically, the Shanks, the Vandals, and the Thrall are the ones that will chase you into this room. Some of them will chase you a little ways down the stairs. I think the Shanks will go a little bit farther down the stairs than most of the other enemies, all right? So if you have a solar subclass like you do on the Hunter, I'm not sure, I know one of the other two classes does have solar, I'm not sure which one, but you want to make sure you have that. Definitely an advantage here. I've got my golden gun. I probably should have went with the helmet that gives me 4 golden gun bullets as opposed to 3, but you know, I'm using what I've got so far. Okay, so again, you're just going to be patient. The whole thing about the Nightfall is being patient, obviously, right? Picking your spots. This is probably one of the easier missions or Nightfall missions that you can solo, okay? The, you know, Cerberus Vi, the Archon Priest, Fogoth is pretty easy, actually. But Cerberus Vi and I think the Archon Priests are probably one of the hardest ones to deal with. Actually, the Nexus last week was pretty difficult. But this one, you have your spots. You don't have to, you know, you're not forced into a room fighting a boss, right? You can pick your spots and you can snipe, you can use a rocket launcher, and you can take your time, okay? So we're just going to let it play. Honestly, I'm going to let it play out here because there are a lot of enemies that come at us in here. And, you know, there's not much really to say. We're just going to keep sniping from our position here. Getting the Icebreaker, you don't have to worry about picking up ammo. You don't have to worry about the Juggler. If you have, you know, you want to make sure you have ammo synthesis as well. I have a ton of ammo synthesis, not only for my rocket launcher, my heavy, but I also have special, which I don't really need because I have the Icebreaker. But again, primary ammo is obviously going to be, or ammo synthesis is going to be of value here as well. All right, because I do run out a couple times. So again, just going to let it play out here, and I'm going to skip ahead to the next section and, you know, enjoy. If you want to go to the next section, it's going to start at approximately 11.5 minutes in. All right, guys?
Push forward, Guardian.
Okay, guys, here we are in the next section. Thing you got to be careful about here is that you're going to get some shanks spawn in, all right? They will spawn in, I think, a couple of times. There are a couple of positions that they can spawn in from, but oftentimes they will spawn in directly behind you or in this room anyway, in this room that we're in, okay? So our safe spot is going to be back here. We're going to take out as much as we can from as far back as we can, and you'll see these shanks. See what I mean? They just appear. It's like, oh, hi. Hello. I'm Mr. Shank. I'm going to appear right in front of you or right behind you, okay? So, I mean, like I said, they're not too bad. If it was arc damage, if it was arc burn on this this strike, then it would be more of an issue. But as it is with the solar burn, it's not too bad. We're going to take out these vandals from a distance, and we're just going to keep sweeping across from left to right. There are going to be another group of shanks that spawn in, so just be careful of that. Make sure you're checking your mini-map often. I'm staying scoped in a little bit too long on these guys, but we're going to take them out anyways. So we're going to have, I think there are two captains. If not two captains, they're going to be two of the higher level vandals that are going to come at you. And I ended up having problems with my my controller. I don't know what was going on, but it was kind of moving up and down on me. I had to change my controller. You'll see here in a few minutes that I do change that. So you'll definitely want to take care with the captains. Make sure you don't take too much damage from them. And all we're going to do is sit back. You get a bunch of drop ships that come in. You do have to kind of move forward in order to get the drop ships to trigger. You want to make sure that you check the left and right hand sides. Just check your mini-map, your radar, and you'll notice that those guys will appear on your radar. I'm going to change my controller right here. All right, so there will be guys that, you know, the Vandals, the higher level Vandals, as well as the captains that will hide on that left and right side. So I actually changed my controller out here. I don't know what was wrong with my old controller, but it was acting all funny, so this is my new controller. All right, the other thing that you got to deal with is there is a guy that is on top. He's a sniper Vandal. He's up top. When you go outside, you'll have to turn around and take him out. Otherwise, I mean, he will snipe you. Again, it's not solar damage that he's doing to you, but nonetheless, he is going to hurt you. And if you're up against a couple other enemies outside, then that might be a problem. All right? I'm going to let it play out here. If you guys want to skip ahead to the next area, it's at 26 minutes, 23 seconds. All right, the only other thing that I would mention here is that I went into this mission on the weekly heroic on level 24. I wanted to see if you could just bypass this whole section, and you can't. You can't just, you know, I went invisible and I tried to bypass it and going in through the door around on the left-hand side, but you can't. You actually have to, I think, pretty much defeat everything in this area, right? We get a bunch of dropships that come in, and you just got to fight your way through. Like, hang back, let the dropships come in. Look at this guy. What are you doing, Captain? Reaver Captain? So yeah, not too many guys will come in after you, but a couple of them will make their way in a little bit into this this building. All right, so I'm gonna let it play out. Like I said, 26 minutes, 23 seconds. Skip ahead if you want to get to the next area. All right.
moving, Guardian. Find Omnigul.
All right, here we are. There's Omnigul. Omnigul, you're going down. You're going down, down, down. Okay, so we got to take our shields down. Once we take our shields down, she'll call in a bunch of Thrall. We've got some Knights that we got to deal with. Yeah, you want to be careful with those grenades. They will kill you if you're a hunter, okay? Those fire grenades. I probably, honestly, I should have switched to, I'm not sure, to be honest, if there's a solar grenade. I haven't used them too much, the other two grenades, but if they'll actually do damage to you. I know with the arc, you know, the Blade Dancer, the arc grenades, at least one of them that I use regularly won't damage you, but it'll damage everything around you, right? So you gotta be careful with those frags, because I don't want to walk into one. I've been killed enough by those trip mines. Well, I guess you wouldn't call it a frag, call it a trip mine. I've been killed by those trip mines before. Not necessarily in a Nightfall, but and definitely not even with a solar burn on, and they still kill you. So anyways, we've got a few wizards to deal with here. These guys are throwing, you know, arc damage at you, which is not too bad. They do have solar shields, so we'll take them down quite easily with the Icebreaker. The Icebreaker is fantastic. Such a great sniper rifle. Don't you guys agree? Do you guys have the new version? Yeah, it was available for upgrade with Xur, and you should have bought it previously. I mean, if you guys are new to the game, then you might not have it, but which is kind of sucks on your part, but hopefully you can get it at some point. I'm sure Xur will sell it. Maybe he'll sell it this weekend. Who knows? All right, there's Omnigul again, so we got to take our shields down again and keep hitting her, and then she'll eventually call in a bunch of minions, including an ogre. Yes, an ogre. All right, so I'm gonna fall back here. There's some cursed thrall that come in, and we're gonna just let this ogre come down. I think it's spawned in now. There it is, right there. So it doesn't chase you that far. You can kind of hold back and shoot at it. It does void damage, so you don't have to worry about, you know, getting just one-shotted with solar damage from this this ogre. And you can take pot shots. You can see through this, yeah, through right there. I'm gonna take a bunch of shots at him through there to finish him off, and he really is of no concern whatsoever. All right. So all we're gonna do is basically stay down in this bottom area. We're gonna finish off the ogre, then we're gonna finish off everything else, and we get up to the main chamber. It's at 3223. So just skip ahead if you want to see that part, and we'll just let this run out. Oh, hi, Knights. How you doing? How you doing? Golden gun. Yeah, goodbye. All right, so we'll see you at 3223. All right, here we go. Moving up to Omnigul's main chamber. Now, there are a bunch of acolytes. The thing is about this battle is that it's pretty much identical, okay? So you're going to see me take out a bunch of acolytes. We've got some knights. We've got acolytes and knights that are going to be on the left-hand side. We're going to have Thrall to deal with, okay? It's going to be pretty much identical. What you want to make sure you do is have a headset on because you want to be able to hear Omnigul. When she screams, that means she's bringing in a new wave of minions. But it's going to be essentially the same type of wave that we're seeing exactly here, right? We got a bunch of acolytes that we take care of on that far end. There's going to be a knight. We're going to have a knight here on the left-hand side. We're going to have acolytes on the left-hand side. The only difference is we're going to see some Thrall come in at times from that left-hand side, mainly from that left-hand side, okay? But essentially it's going to be the same. We're going to take care of that knight that's directly ahead of us. You can crouch, use your icebreaker, take him out. See, he's right there, okay? A hollowed knight. You're going to have another hollowed knight that might appear sort of, you know, where he was, but more to the left, and you'll have to take pot shots at him, okay? And there come the Thrall. The other things you have to worry about, okay? Number one, again, make sure that you listen. When you hear her scream, you want to back off to this position. This is our fallback position. These guys, you know, the Thrall might chase you a little bit farther. This knight, yeah, this knight will chase you probably to that threshold right there. The Thrall will chase you a little bit further. But that's pretty much all you got to deal with. The Ascendant Knights, take out with whatever you can. Switch to the sniper. If you have your solar grenades, then switch to that. There will be also a couple instances where Omnigul will bring in a couple more wizards. But what I end up doing and how I take care of Omnigul is with my rocket launcher. So I'm going to make sure I have that heavy ammo synthesis even before you get in here. Hopefully you did, because I mentioned that right at the beginning. Always have synthesis. But we do get a bunch of heavy drops as well. So a couple other things that you have to worry about as we move in here. On that right-hand side, see the doorway? There's a little doorway. That's kind of a spawn room for these guys. There will be a couple of points in this battle where we get some Cursed Thrall. See that? There's that Hallowed Knight that's back there. Okay, now he's kind of tough to deal with. You might want to use your rocket launcher. I'm trying to use the icebreaker to take him down, so I do get him. But there are a couple instances that you'll see in this battle where he sort of moves around, and he was kind of difficult to get at times. So rocket launcher or your sniper rifle, whatever your preference might be. So going back to the Cursed Thrall, they'll come in. I mean, she'll spawn in some Cursed Thrall sort of in this main room, but then some Cursed Thrall will also spawn in that spawn room that's directly behind me. So you want to be cognizant of that. You want to be listening, because the Cursed Thrall do make that distinctive noise. So listen for that and make sure you're getting out of the way, all right? There's a little a crate that I sort of jump over in order to get out of the way of the Cursed Thrall that you'll see come in. Now, the other thing you got to worry about is directly behind me to my right, you'll get a knight spawn in up top. And he's kind of difficult to deal with because he's not always visible. He's sort of hiding up there. You'll be able to see him on your radar. How I deal with them is with my trip mines. I mean, I do shoot him a few times, I think, as well. But trying to get him with the trip mines, you'll see a couple instances of me doing that as well, okay? So you heard her scream. I think we heard her scream. There you go. So it's basically like we just came into this area again. We have to deal with the acolytes. We have to deal with the knights. You're going to have the same group of enemies sort of on the left-hand side. And really all you got to do is be patient. Just be patient and don't take too many risks. There are a couple of instances where I take a couple of risks and I almost pay for it with my life. But I didn't have to restart. I only restarted once. And that was right at the beginning area where I got killed, and that was it. That was the one time I had to restart, and I didn't have any problems in this area. So this is my first time playing through this on the Nightfall, and I'm just going to let it play out for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy, and this is the first time that I've been able to bring Will the Will of Crota to you. I know we didn't do it when the DLC first released. We were hardcore on the raid and didn't bring this to you, but now we are with the solar burn. All right, guys, so go get your Nightfall, your weekly Nightfall, get your buff, so you have all that extra XP for the entire week. Okay, guys, and rewards. And I do let the rewards run at the end. So I know people have mentioned, hey, Spider, let it run to the end so we can see what you got. I ended up getting a legendary, yeah, you'll see anyway. Okay, guys, that's it. Enjoy. We will see you next time. I'm Spider, and I'm out.
The agents of Crota's will have been defeated. The Hive will not take this transgression lightly. But you, Guardian, have given them something new to fear.